Okay, so let's continue this. So I think we've said enough about the whole theory behind forecasting. Let's get in some nuts and bolts here. Okay, so the advantages of accurate sales forecasting is accurate revenue estimates. We know how much money we're going to have, or we accurately know how much money we're going to take in. It's a good thing. Improved ability to predict expenses. We know that we're going to make more money. That means we're going to spend more money, right? Because there is the relationship between that, and we cannot make more money and not spend more money. All right. Greater efficiency in scheduling workers. We talked about that. Greater efficiency in scheduling menu production schedules. So yeah, labor of the people that are going to be there during service is one thing. That's important to protect. But we sometimes forget that many restaurants always every day the prep people come in regardless of what they're prepping for. If we know that it's going to be a slow weekend, we might cut back on the prep guys' hours as well. All right. Better accuracy in purchasing. This is huge. Better accuracy in purchasing is huge. Buying stuff that you don't need, even if it's not perishable, is expensive. There is a cost of inventory. Okay. Let's see. Some other advantages that improve the ability to maintain proper levels of food inventories. That's sort of what we just said. Improved budgeting ability. Okay, well, you can't do a budget. We can't say we're going to spend this much money if we don't have a forecast of our sales. All right. Lower selling prices for guests because increased operational efficiency. Well, if we start doing this well over time, we can be a better value than, say, our competition who does not do this well because they have to charge more because they are inefficient. All right. If we are efficient because we're better forecasting, we can make more money and or we can take that savings and pass it on to our customers so they pay per person less, but we make more money because we're more attractive and we have more people coming in. So we increase the dollars available for current facility maintenance. That was I was saying before, when we know how much money we got, when we have an actual projection, we know that we can spend so much money on the facilities or projects. Increased profit level for stockholder value. All right, stockholder value, we're making our company worth more. And of course, our stockholders might receive dividends, or at least the value that they have in their stock holdings will increase. All right. Okay. So a sales history. The sales history is a systematic recording of everything that's achieved during a period. Sales, in this case. Sales history can be recorded to be created to record revenue, guest serves, or both. Okay, sales to date is the cumulative totals of sales for a reported period. Okay, so let's look at this. So we have daily sales for Monday was $851.90. Sales for Tuesday is a little bit better. Monday was a slow day. Tuesday's a little bit better, 974 some change. Wednesday's a good day. Midweek restaurant rush, whatever, $1,004 and some change. Thursday back down to like Tuesday levels. Friday's back down to almost Monday levels, which is weird. Saturday we're back up to good weekend. Saturday is our best day, of course. Sunday, okay, there we are. But if you look at the sales to date there, and the reason why this is important is you might isolate a week, Tuesday to Tuesday, or whatever. But the sales to date is during this period of the month, Monday or the week, excuse me, this week of sales of this week. Yeah, Monday was whatever, Tuesday was whatever, Wednesday was. But say it's Thursday morning. We're going into Thursday morning. We can look at everything we made up until that point, which is the sales to date. So that's Monday plus Tuesday plus Wednesday. If you look at this, let's see how I can do this. Are you seeing this? Okay. So if you're looking at these numbers, all right, because it's only one day, that number is the same. But if you look down here, that number is not the same. Well, how do I get that number? It's that number, it's that number plus this number. All right. So, and the same thing there. It's that number plus this number equals that. Okay. So it's not always this plus this because it's a cumulative thing. So that'll screw you up. Okay, so we're good to go. All right. Sales history is an average or mean. You might hear the term mean. Whether there's a mean number on that, mean just means average. Okay, is defined as the value derived at by adding the quantities of the series and dividing by the sum. So if we go back to the one that we were just at, let's see if I can do this with my clicker. Okay, so the week's total is this, but okay, that's the week's total. But if we want to know, yeah, we know what Monday is, we know what Tuesday is, or Thursday, but I want to know what an average is, okay? What is the average? What is the average amount, the middle of the road amount that we can, you almost can use our average as what we can count on, right? So, yeah, we know that Monday's bad and Thursday and Friday's bad, but Saturday's really good. But we know that maybe we know this, that that's a constant. They're always good and they're always bad, whatever days. So we know that that's pretty much a standard little thing going on here. That the peaks and valleys of our week is pretty much the same. So having an average, we can just use that to kind of get a better understanding where we're at. And the average is basically just adding all of these up, right? And then dividing by 7, and that gives us our average, okay? You all know how to do averages, right? So let's see if this works. Okay, let's see. We talked about average. So sales history. Some operations record both revenue and guest counts in their sales history. Average sales per guest and check average. Average sales per guest or check average. It's a really good number to have floating around your head because it's more than just butts and seats, right? It's what they're buying, right? So we have a really dynamic server who's been with the company 30 years. And last year, we had a certain amount of revenue, and we expect the same revenue. We had the same certain amount of customers. Now, this year, we're halfway through the year. We realize we're right on track with the amount of customers we normally have, but our revenue has shrunk. Why is that? Because that server, oh, I forgot to tell you, that server retired. Okay. So that server was really good. And then she retired, and we're looking as like we get the same amount of butts and seats, but we don't have the same amount of money. Why? Because she was good at upselling, right? She was good at suggestive selling, saying, "Hey, this we have a really nice wine that will go good with that." All right. So that's why it's important to not just look at numbers, all right, or not just look at seats, to look at both of them so we can see that relationship. So here we have the total sales divided by the total number of guests served gives our average sales per guest. That's very easy, right? If we're talking about averages, when you add up the cumulative, and then you divide by the number, the cumulative number is the total sales, and the number of guests is what we're trying to figure out. So what do we have here? Let's say we have $39,000 as our total sales. We have 420 guests. Very simple math. Where is it? Let's clear this. 39000 divided by, what is it? 420 equals 92.85. Or 92, if we're going to round up, 85 cents is a real number, but we're rounding up to 92.86. Or 93. We're up. Okay, I rounded up to 93. All right, so it's $93 check average. So this is a good number to have. So when we can project people. Let's say there's a 70 or 60, let's say something like Amazon just opened up a warehouse, and there's going to be 100 new families, 200 or 300 new people coming in, right? So then we can say, hey, we can anticipate, as far as looking at the relationship between the existing population and now the new population or the previous population, we can anticipate maybe a 10% increase of people coming in. So if we know that our ticket average is about 93%, or $93. We can figure all that stuff out. So it's all real good stuff to throw around. All right. Boy, these videos take a long time. All right, let's move forward. All right, so maintaining sales histories. We want to maintain revenue, number of guests sold, average guest sales. We've just talked about how to figure that out. Specific menu items, guests served in a specific meal time period. That's important because we can say, yeah, it's great. We got so many guests per day. But then we look at it, and when we really look at the number, we realize that 95% of our sales comes from one meal period. Then we might want to look at our staffing with the other meal periods and other things. Okay, method of delivery. Okay, table service, whatever. All right. So sales variance. I guess this is the only math that we have time for before we get to the third video. All right, a sales variance is nothing more than difference. The word variance means difference. We use it in business like, what is our variance, our sales variance between last year? Okay. Now, when you use just the word variance, we're looking for a number, right? Sales last year minus sales, or sales this period minus sales last period, that's our variance. Okay. So if we had $1 million in sales this year, and last year we had $900,000 in sales, that we had $100,000 sales variance. All right. When I just say a variance, generally speaking, I'm talking about a positive variance. But do we always make more than we did last year? Not always. So our sales this year might be $900,000, and our sales last year were $1 million. Now we have $1 million or $100,000 variance. Negative variance, $100,000 negative variance. Okay. So let's see. Did I do this? Yes, I did. So let's look at some numbers. All right. So now our sales variance for a month, say, our sales is $39,000. That's this period. Last period is $38,985. We have a variance of $15. Okay. Let's see. So the percentage variance, $15 doesn't tell me anything, right? We have a variance of $15. Out of what? If our variance is $15, but all we took in was $30, then that's a pretty good increase, right? That's 50% more, right? But if $15 from $1 million is not a big increase. So we like to, because what do percentages do? They show relevant or relationship, right? Again, I could say that we have a variance of $20,000. That sounds pretty good, but when we're talking about a volume of business of 10 million, $20,000 increase is not a big increase, right? So that's why percentage is important. So this is how we do it. Sales this period minus sales last period divided by sales last period. So let's do this. All right. Okay, these are different methods. I'm going to just do this method because what's up here? Sales this period minus sales last period. What is that? That's the variance. So we get the variance divided by sales last period equals percentage variance. Part divided by whole. Our part is our variance and our whole is sales last period. So, and we're not even going to look at this bottom one. All right, so variance divided by sales last period. All right, so let's look at this. We go back to that thing. We had a $15 variance. Sales last period is $38,985. So what we're going to do is, hopefully I have time to do this. We don't have a lot of time. So 15. Well, students do this backwards. So this is what we're looking for. If it's percentage, it's going to be less than 1, right? So 15 divided by 3,895 equals 3.84. That turns into 3.85%. All right. So there we are. Okay. I hope that made sense. I think it made sense. I might have done that math wrong, but that's our variance. Okay. So I have to sign off, and I'll see you in the next video.